Getting a first pick in the draft is greeted by a lot of fanfare within the franchise and its fan base. That's only half the job. The other half is not messing up and choosing a bust, such as Alexandra Daigle or Nail Yakupov. These players were expected to change their team's fortunes, but ended up being remembered for the wrong reasons. In this video, we'll talk about the franchises who made the right choice and who didn't mess up their top selection. Here are the best number 1 picks in NHL history. These players not only lived up to the hype, but exceeded expectations and changed their teams for the better. Number 10, Marc-Andre Fleury. In the battle of top goaltenders selected first overall, we picked Fleury over Rick DiPietro. Fleury was selected first in the 2003 NHL Draft by the Pittsburgh Penguins, making him only the 3rd goaltender ever to be taken with the top pick. The Flower, as Fleury is nicknamed, stands tall at 6 feet 2 inches and is known for his lightning-quick reflexes and spectacular acrobatic saves. What made him special wasn't just his athletic ability, but his positive attitude and mental toughness. While many goalies are known for being serious, Fleury brought a contagious smile and lighthearted approach to the pressure-filled position. Nobody could match his combination of elite skill and uplifting personality in the locker room. He backstopped the Penguins to 3 Stanley Cup championships in 2009, 2016, and 2017, forming the backbone of a dynasty alongside Sidney Crosby and Yevgeny Malkin. Fleury has over 500 career wins, placing him among the top 3 winningest goalies in NHL history. His career hasn't been without challenges. He faced criticism during playoff struggles and eventually lost his starting job to Matt Murray before being selected in the expansion draft by Vegas. What's most impressive about Fleury's career is how he reinvented himself with the Vegas Golden Knights. He led an expansion team to the Stanley Cup Finals in their very first season, something nobody thought possible. His influence on the game extends beyond statistics. He changed how teams view goaltenders in the draft and showed that a positive mindset is just as important as skill between the pipes. Number 9, Joe Thornton. When comparing players who transformed struggling franchises, Thornton edges out Vincent Lecavalier for this spot. Jumbo Joe was selected first overall by the Boston Bruins in the 1997 NHL Draft, bringing hope to an original 6 team trying to return to glory. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 4 inches and weighing 220 pounds, Thornton combined the body of a power forward with the passing vision of a playmaker. What set him apart from other big centers was his extraordinary ability to distribute the puck. With soft hands that didn't match his massive frame, Thornton could thread passes through defenders that other players couldn't even see. His playmaking ability and offensive awareness made him one of the most feared players with the puck on his stick. Thornton won the Hart Trophy as League MVP and Art Ross Trophy as scoring champion in 2006, making history as the only player to win these awards after being traded during the same season. He was shipped from Boston to San Jose in what many consider one of the most lopsided trades ever. With over 1,500 career points, his passing skills led to more than 1,100 assists, placing him among the top playmakers in NHL history. Despite his individual success, Thornton faced criticism for not winning a Stanley Cup and for supposedly underperforming in the playoffs. The choker label followed him throughout his career as his teams repeatedly fell short in the postseason. However, his impact on hockey can't be denied. Thornton changed how big players approach the game, proving that size and skill aren't mutually exclusive. His beard and personality also made him a fan favorite and marketing icon for the league. Number 8, Eric Lindros. In comparing physically dominant players who changed the game, Lindros ranks above Pierre Turgeon as an unstoppable force when healthy. The Big E was selected first overall by the Quebec Nordiques in the 1991 NHL Draft, but famously refused to play for them, forcing a trade to the Philadelphia Flyers in a blockbuster deal. At 6 feet 4 inches and 240 pounds with remarkable speed and hands, Lindros was the prototype for the modern power forward. What made him unique was his rare combination of brutality and finesse. He could run over opponents on one shift and make a highlight reel deke on the next. Nobody in hockey history combined size, speed, and skill quite like Lindros, who played the game like a freight train on skates. Defenders simply bounced off him as he drove to the net, yet he had the touch to make plays at full speed. During his prime with Philadelphia, Lindros centered the famous Legion of Doom line, and won the Hart Trophy as league MVP in 1995. He averaged nearly 1.4 points per game throughout his career, one of the highest rates in NHL history. In his first 8 seasons, he put up 659 points in just 486 games, showing what could have been if health hadn't become an issue. Lindros faced significant challenges, most notably multiple concussions that ultimately cut his career short. His refusal to play for Quebec also led to criticism about his character and a complicated relationship with fans and media. Despite these controversies, Lindros forever changed hockey by creating the template for the modern power forward. Before him, big players weren't expected to have elite skill, and skilled players weren't expected to dominate physically. He showed that one player could do both, influencing a generation of players who followed. Number 7. Steven Stamkos. When comparing franchise-changing forwards from the late 2000s, Stamkos edges out John Tavares because of his explosive goal-scoring ability. Stamkos was selected first overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning in the 2008 NHL Draft, giving hope to a struggling team in a non-traditional hockey market. Stammer isn't the biggest player at 6 feet 1 inch, but he possesses one of the most lethal one-timers in NHL history, especially from the left circle, an area now commonly known as his office. What separates Stamkos from other snipers is his release. The puck leaves his stick so quickly that goalies barely have time to react. While many top picks take time to develop, Stamkos scored 51 goals in just his second season, showing he was special from the start. He has twice won the Morris Rocket Richard Trophy as the league's top goal scorer and has surpassed the 50-goal mark twice in his career. With over 500 goals and 1,000 points, his offensive production speaks for itself. Stamkos also evolved from a pure scorer into a complete player and leader, eventually captaining the Lightning to back-to-back Stanley Cup championships in 2020 and 2021. Stamkos faced significant challenges throughout his career, including a broken leg, blood clot issues, and other injuries that threatened to derail his promising career. His most heartbreaking moment came in 2016, when he missed nearly the entire playoff run with a blood clot condition, only returning for less than 3 minutes in the final game of the Eastern Conference Final. His impact on hockey goes beyond statistics. Stamkos helped transform Tampa Bay into a hockey town and one of the league's model franchises. He proved that star players can thrive in southern markets and showed exceptional loyalty by re-signing with the Lightning when he could have earned more elsewhere. His perfect one-timer is now studied and copied by young players everywhere, changing how the power play is run across all levels of hockey. Number 6. Alex Ovechkin. In comparing generational talents, Ovechkin ranks above many other first overall picks because of his unprecedented goal-scoring ability. The Great Eight was selected first overall by the Washington Capitals in the 2004 NHL Draft and immediately became the face of the franchise. Standing 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 240 pounds, Ovechkin combines the body of a wrecking ball with the shot of a sniper. What makes him unique is his rare combination of physical power and scoring touch. He can beat you with a bone-crushing hit on one shift and then score a highlight reel goal on the next. Nobody in the modern era has scored goals with such consistency and flair as Ovechkin, who makes goal scoring look almost routine despite the increased skill of modern goaltenders. Ovechkin has won the Rocket Richard Trophy an incredible 9 times as the league's top goal scorer. He has 3 Hart Trophies as league MVP and led the Capitals to their first Stanley Cup in 2018. With over 800 goals and counting, he's on pace to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record of 894, a mark once thought untouchable. Despite his individual success, Ovechkin faced criticism for years about his defensive play and inability to lead his team past Sidney Crosby's Penguins in the playoffs. The "can't win the big one" label followed him until 2018, when he finally silenced critics by winning the Cup and Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP. Ovechkin's impact on hockey is enormous. He revitalized interest in the sport in Washington, D.C. and across the United States with his charismatic personality and highlight reel goals. His patented one-timer from the left circle is now copied by players at all levels, and he helped usher in a new era of Russian stars in the NHL. Most importantly, he showed that goal scoring doesn't have to decline in the modern defensive era, inspiring a new generation of shooters. Number 5. Patrick Kane. When comparing American-born first overall picks, Kane stands alone as the most skilled and accomplished. Showtime was selected first by the Chicago Blackhawks in the 2007 NHL Draft. Despite concerns about his small stature at just 5 feet 10 inches and 175 pounds, Kane defied the odds with his otherworldly stick-handling ability and hockey IQ. What makes him special is his exceptional vision and hands in tight spaces. He seems to operate in slow motion while everyone else is rushing. Nobody handles the puck in traffic better than Kane, who can thread passes or find shooting lanes that other players can't even see. His signature move, the slow approach on breakaways before a quick deke, has fooled countless goaltenders. He won the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year and later added a Hart Trophy as League MVP in 2016. Kane has 3 Stanley Cup championships with Chicago and scored the cup-winning goal in overtime in 2010, ending the Blackhawks' 49-year championship drought. With over 1,200 points, he's established himself as the greatest American-born player in NHL history. Kane faced challenges both on and off the ice, including legal troubles early in his career and criticism about his defensive play. His size was constantly questioned, with many doubting a player his size could withstand the physical NHL game over a long career. His impact on hockey, especially in America, can't be overstated. Kane proved that smaller players could not only survive but dominate in the NHL, helping usher in the current era where skill trumps size. He inspired countless American kids to take up hockey and showed that stick handling and creativity are just as valuable as speed and strength. Number 4, Mario Lemieux. When comparing transformative franchise players, Lemieux stands above almost everyone due to his combination of size, skill, and his role in saving hockey in Pittsburgh twice. Super Mario was selected first overall by the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 1984 NHL Draft, a team so desperate to draft him they were accused of deliberately losing games. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 4 inches and moving with the grace of a much smaller man, Lemieux combined the reach of a giant with the soft hands of a surgeon. What made him truly special was his ability to dominate games in ways nobody else could. He could stick handle through entire teams or overpower defenders at will. Nobody in hockey history could protect the puck like Lemieux, who seemed to have defenders on a string, moving them exactly where he wanted them to go. Lemieux won 2 Stanley Cups as a player, 6 Art Ross trophies as scoring champion, and 3 Hart Trophies as league MVP. His career numbers are staggering: 1,723 points in just 915 games, the second highest points per game average in NHL history. But the most incredible stat might be his 1992-93 season, when he scored 160 points despite missing 24 games to undergo radiation treatment for cancer. No superstar faced more challenges than Lemieux. He battled back problems so severe he couldn't tie his own skates, fought Hodgkin's lymphoma in the prime of his career, and dealt with a rare bone infection. These health issues forced him to retire in 1997, only to make a remarkable comeback in 2000 after buying the team to save it from bankruptcy. Lemieux's impact on hockey extends far beyond his play. He saved the Penguins franchise twice. First as a player when the team was struggling financially, and later as an owner when he purchased the bankrupt team in 1999. He mentored Sidney Crosby and helped build a new arena, ensuring hockey would stay in Pittsburgh for generations. His play inspired a generation of big, skilled forwards who learned you could dominate with finesse as well as size. Number 3, Wayne Gretzky. In comparing hockey's ultimate superstars, Gretzky earns this spot over Guy Lafleur and Gilbert Perreault because he rewrote the record books and changed how the game is played and understood. The Great One was not actually drafted but acquired by the Edmonton Oilers in 1978 when the WHA and NHL merged. At just 6 feet 0 inches and 185 pounds, Gretzky wasn't physically imposing, but possessed unmatched vision and hockey sense. What made him unique was his ability to anticipate plays before they happened. He famously said he skated to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. Nobody could see the ice like Gretzky, who seemed to have a mental map of all players' positions at all times. He turned the area behind the opponent's net, now known as Gretzky's office, into the most dangerous spot on the ice. Gretzky's achievements are almost mythical. 4 Stanley Cups, 9 Hart Trophies, 10 Art Ross Trophies, and records that may never be broken. He scored 92 goals in a single season and finished his career with 2,857 points, nearly 1,000 more than any other player. While Gretzky faced fewer health challenges than others on this list, he dealt with constant physical abuse from opponents trying to slow him down. Gretzky's impact on hockey is immeasurable. He almost single-handedly expanded the NHL into the southern United States, making hockey relevant in markets like Los Angeles. He revolutionized offensive strategy, forcing teams to adapt their defensive systems specifically to contain him. The NHL even changed its rules to limit some of the tactics used against him, and his number 99 is retired league-wide, the only player with that honor. His scoring records changed what was thought possible in hockey. Number 2, Sidney Crosby. When comparing complete players who dominated their era, Crosby ranks above other first picks because of his flawless, all-around game and consistent excellence. Sid the Kid was selected first overall by the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 2005 NHL Draft, arriving with the most hype of any player since Lemieux. At 5'11" and 200 pounds, Crosby isn't the biggest player but has powerful legs and incredible lower body strength. What separates him from other stars is his attention to detail and mastery of every aspect of hockey. There is literally no weakness in his game. Nobody works harder at the small things than Crosby, who studies and perfects aspects of hockey that other superstars overlook. His backhand is the best in NHL history, and his ability to protect the puck along the boards is unmatched. Crosby has won 3 Stanley Cups as captain of the Penguins, 2 Olympic gold medals for Canada, and 2 Hart Trophies as league MVP. He's passed the 500 goal and 1,000 point milestones, but his true value goes beyond statistics. He simply makes everyone around him better. The biggest challenges in Crosby's career were serious concussions that threatened to end his career prematurely. He missed nearly 2 full seasons in his prime, leading many to wonder if hockey would lose its biggest star. He also dealt with the enormous pressure of being labeled the next one and being compared to Gretzky before playing a single NHL game. Crosby's legacy is being the perfect hockey player and ambassador for the sport. He maintained the traditional values of hockey, humility, team-first attitude, and respect for the game, while playing with modern skill and speed. Most importantly, he's shown a generation of players that being the best isn't just about scoring goals, but excelling in every zone and situation. Number 1, Connor McDavid. If you watched any game of McDavid in junior hockey, it was instantly clear that McDavid was not an ordinary player. He was an unbelievable skater with hands that could keep up with his blazing speed, paired with a hockey IQ that comes along once in a generation. Soon, pictures of the 15-year-old kid from Ontario flooded the front pages of all the hockey magazines and websites, and they all said the same thing: he's the future number 1 pick in the draft. When the time came, they were all right, and fate would have it that he would get drafted first overall by the Edmonton Oilers in 2015. Edmonton finally had hockey hope again after years of disappointment, and Connor McDavid was the chosen one. McDavid quickly showed that they didn't make a mistake with the teenager, even exceeding the enormous hype. He put up 48 points in just 45 games in his rookie season, despite missing months with a broken collarbone. McDavid's dominance was immediate and overwhelming. By his second season, he won the Art Ross Trophy as scoring champion, the Hart Trophy as league MVP, and the Ted Lindsay Award as the best player voted by fellow players, all before turning 21. He's since added Oilers to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2023. His signature moment came in 2022 when he almost single-handedly carried the Oilers through the playoffs, putting up 33 points in 16 games with highlight reel plays that left fans and opponents in disbelief. The speed at which McDavid can process the game and execute plays that others can't even imagine is what separates him from everyone else. McDavid's legacy is already untouchable as one of the best players to ever play, but at just 28 years old, he's still redefining what's possible on the ice. He's not just chasing records, he's forcing the entire league to evolve as coaches and players scramble to find ways to contain a talent unlike anything hockey has ever seen. And that wraps up our list of the top 10 number 1 draft picks in NHL history. Do you agree with our rankings? Let us know in the comments which first overall pick you think had the biggest impact on the game. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more hockey content. See you in the next one.